They said RPGs were dead, they said consoles were dying, but 20 games on a portable Nintendo system are proving every prediction wrong. Welcome back to Switch Game List. Dragon Quest XI brings the classic JRPG formula into modern gaming. You play as the Luminary, a hero destined to save the world of Erdrea. The twist? The bad guys know you're coming, and they've prepared. After a devastating defeat, you wake up in a simple fishing village with no memory of your past. While the story follows familiar beats, the game's charm comes from its colorful cast and turn-based combat that respects your time. Square Enix added new content for the Switch version, including a full 16-bit mode that lets you experience the entire adventure in retro style. Fire Emblem. 3 Houses puts you in the shoes of a professor at a military academy. You'll choose between 3 houses: the noble Black Eagles, the traditional Blue Lions, or the laid-back Golden Deer. Each path reveals different perspectives on a coming war that tears the continent apart. The game blends tactical combat with social elements, where you build relationships with your students. Your choices matter. Students can die permanently in battle, and former friends might become enemies. While the monastery segments can get repetitive, the branching story paths offer genuine replay value. Pokemon Legends Arceus breaks the traditional Pokemon formula. Set in the distant past of the Sinnoh region, you're a trainer thrown back in time to create the first Pokédex. Pokemon roam freely in the wild, they can attack you directly, and you'll need to dodge and hide while catching them. The story explores the relationship between humans and Pokemon in a time when they weren't partners. While the graphics might not impress, the game finally delivers the open-world Pokemon experience fans have wanted for years. Tears of the Kingdom builds on everything that made Breath of the Wild great. Link returns to a transformed Hyrule where floating islands have appeared in the sky. The game adds new abilities that let you combine objects, reverse time, and build complex machines. You'll discover how Ganondorf's return connects to an ancient civilization and the fate of Princess Zelda. The freedom to solve puzzles and challenges in countless ways makes every player's journey unique. The game rewards creativity more than combat skill. Octopath Traveler catches your eye with its HD 2D graphics that blend retro sprites with modern lighting effects. 8 travelers with distinct stories cross paths in the world of Orstera. Each character has their own path action. Therion can steal items, Primrose can charm NPCs to follow her, and Olberic can challenge anyone to a duel. The combat system combines traditional turn-based battles with a risk-reward boost system. While the stories rarely intersect in meaningful ways, each character's tale tackles mature themes rarely seen in JRPGs.
Each battle, I grow stronger.
Rune Factory 5 blends farming simulation with dungeon crawling. You play as a ranger with amnesia who joins Seed, a peacekeeping organization in the town of Rigbarth. Between growing crops and raising monsters, you'll uncover a plot involving otherworldly threats and your character's forgotten past. The game lets you date any marriage candidate regardless of gender, a first for the series. While the transition to 3D brings some technical issues, the mix of relaxing farm life and monster-slaying adventure creates a unique rhythm to each day. Pokemon Sword drops you into the UK-inspired Galar region. You're a young trainer aiming to become champion in a world where Pokemon battles are treated like professional sports, complete with massive stadiums and cheering crowds. The wild area introduces open-world elements where Pokemon visibly roam. Dynamaxing turns your Pokemon into giant versions of themselves for spectacular battles. The story touches on themes of energy consumption and sports culture, though it stays light enough for younger players. Skyward Sword HD improves on the Wii original by making motion controls optional. You play as Link in the earliest story of the Zelda timeline, living in a city floating above the clouds. After Zelda vanishes, you descend to the unknown surface world below. The game explains the origin of many Zelda series staples, from the Master Sword to Ganon himself. While the game remains more linear than modern Zelda titles, the refined controls make its puzzles and combat more accessible than ever. Super Mario RPG Remake updates the SNES Classic for modern hardware. Mario teams up with Mallow, a cloud prince who can't float, and Geno, a warrior spirit possessing a toy, to repair the Star Road and restore the power of wishes. The combat system rewards timing button presses during attacks and defenses, adding engagement to turn-based battles. Square Enix preserved the original's charm while adding quality-of-life features and modernized graphics. The game's short length is balanced by its dense content and humor. Bravely Default 2 follows 4 heroes searching for crystals to prevent calamity, a classic Final Fantasy setup with a twist. The Brave Default system lets you bank turns for later use or take multiple actions at the risk of leaving yourself defenseless. Each character can mix and match job classes from standard warriors to vampire dancers. The game's fairy tale art style contrasts with dark themes of political intrigue and moral corruption. While the plot follows genre conventions, the strategic depth of the combat system keeps things fresh.
Never mind that now. Let's get you to bed.
You're right. Come on. Well, I'll be jiggled.
Hey, quick pause here. If you're enjoying this look at some of Switch's finest games, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Let me know in the comments which of these games you've played or are excited to try. Now, let's continue with our lineup. Shin Megami Tensei 5 throws you into a post-apocalyptic Tokyo where angels and demons wage endless war. You're a high school student transformed into a Nahobino, a forbidden fusion of human and demon. The game forces you to navigate complex moral choices as various factions vie for power to reshape reality. You'll negotiate with demons to join your team or crush them in challenging turn-based battles. While the story can feel sparse, the game's atmosphere and philosophical questions about order versus chaos create a unique experience. Crystal Chronicles Remastered brings back the GameCube multiplayer RPG. Your caravan travels the world collecting myrrh to protect towns from deadly miasma. The game blends action RPG combat with puzzle solving and resource management. Each dungeon run reveals letters from family members, building a picture of life back home. This version adds online multiplayer but removes local co-op, while the grind for better gear and repeated dungeon runs can feel monotonous. The game's cozy atmosphere and memorable soundtrack create a distinct adventure. Fire Emblem. Engage centers on Alir, a divine dragon who awakens after a 1,000-year slumber. You collect emblem rings containing the spirits of heroes from past Fire Emblem games, including Marth and Ike. The story focuses on preventing the revival of the felled dragon. The game emphasizes tactical combat over social elements, with emblem ring combinations adding strategic depth. While the story and characters lean into anime tropes more than Three Houses, the refined battle system delivers satisfying strategic challenges.
Fate has brought us here.
Monster Hunter Generations. Ultimate brings classic-style hunting to Switch. You create a hunter and tackle increasingly difficult monsters across multiple villages. The game includes all content from previous versions plus new G-rank quests. Hunting styles and arts let you customize your approach with each weapon type. While newer entries like World and Rise offer more modern conveniences, Generations Ultimate's massive content library and challenging endgame provide hundreds of hours of monster slaying satisfaction. Metal Slug Tactics transforms the run and gun series into a strategy game. Marco, Eri, Tarma, and Fio return to fight the rebel army across procedurally generated battlefields. The game maintains the original's pixel art style while adding roguelike elements. Each failed mission teaches you more about enemy patterns and tactical options. Characters can sync attacks for powerful combo moves, and the trademark Metal Slug vehicles appear as special abilities. While still in development, the game promises to blend the series' character with challenging tactical gameplay. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 connects the worlds of previous games in a far future where two nations force their citizens to fight and die to power their rulers. Noah and Mio, Offseers who send fallen soldiers' souls onward, discover they can fuse into a powerful being called Ouroboros. The real-time combat system lets you switch classes freely and chain combo attacks with your party. While the story takes time to unfold, themes of life, death, and breaking free from endless cycles create an emotionally resonant journey. Octopath Traveler 2 moves the HD2D formula to a new world in an industrial revolution era. 8 new travelers include a warrior turned apothecary and a cursed princess who transforms into a warrior at night. Each character can now use different path actions during day and night cycles. The battle system adds latent powers that unlock under specific conditions. While the game follows its predecessor's structure, refined storytelling creates stronger connections between the characters' individual quests.
Consorting with lowlifes. Suppose that's what happens when your family forsakes you.
You've got some nerve.
Dragon Quest III HD2D Remake rebuilds the NES classic in Octopath's engine. You play as the child of a legendary hero building a party of custom characters to challenge the archfiend Baramos. The game's class change system lets you combine abilities from different vocations. This version preserves the original's groundbreaking non-linear gameplay while adding modern conveniences. While development continues, the remake aims to introduce new players to a foundational JRPG that influenced decades of games. The Witcher 3 on Switch brings Geralt's complete adventure to portable form. You're a monster hunter, tracking your adopted daughter across a war-torn fantasy world. The game tackles mature themes through morally complex quests where choices have far-reaching consequences. While the Switch version runs at lower resolution and detail, the complete package, including all DLC, lets you experience this dense, story-driven RPG anywhere. The game rewards patient players who engage with its detailed world and characters. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim puts you in a Nordic realm torn by civil war as dragons return. You discover you're Dragonborn, able to use dragon shouts as weapons. The game offers complete freedom. You can follow the main quest, join various factions, or simply explore the vast wilderness. The Switch version includes motion controls for magic and lockpicking, plus exclusive Zelda gear. While bugs remain from the original release, Skyrim's open-world freedom and emergent storytelling hold up years later. Hey, let me know what you think about these games. Maybe you've played some and have a different take, or maybe something here caught your eye. Drop a comment, let's chat about it. See you in the next one.